Hello, hello. How's it going?
Hey, you have an hour this week, right? Yeah. Great. I can teach you how to believe.
Mia, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Mia or is it Maya? Or is it none of those? Because you comment on like every single video and I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Maya? Or is that still Mia? I'm really bad with pronunciation and names in general. No worries. Okay. Anyway, how's your Saturday going? If it's Saturday where you're at. Good. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Who's all here? So, what's on the agenda today is a pocket check at some point. Let me know what you guys are carrying in your pockets today. What's new in the pockets? I've got a lot of new stuff in the pockets. Where to start? Start with this guy. So, this is my new wallet. Comes from a company called Gray Ghost Customs. And this is a clear topographic Kydex wallet. This one holds 6 cards. I've got 5 in it right now, and then a little cash strap on the back. But I've been rocking this a lot lately. It's pretty slim. So really, really slim. But at the same time, it's not, sorry, it's not like most like leather card carriers where you sit on it and it gets bent. Because it's Kydex, it actually sits really stiff, which being this slim isn't actually a problem. So your cards don't get all bent up and messed up, which is something that I have learned to appreciate. And of course, I got to flex the Costco card always. But yeah, so I was switching it up a little bit from the traditional wallet and going with this one. So this is Gray Ghost Customs, and go check them out on Instagram or Etsy. And so that's the new wallet. I've got a new pen, which is something I'm going to be talking about. And this comes from Q3D. So my buddy Quentin makes these. This is a titanium side click. And what's cool about this is, give me 1 second, I'm going to grab it. Quentin is also, he does a lot of 3D printing. And so this pen, along with some others that I'm doing some photo work for, showed up in a 3D printed canister. And so it's a twist off, and so the pen shipped inside this canister, which was a really surprisingly cool unboxing experience. And so yeah, this is the new pen, which is his titanium swift click is the one he's calling it. So check him out. Again, that's Q3, the Q Train 23 on Instagram is his shop. But fits well with all the rest of my titanium gear. I've got I'll just do a pocket check while we're at it. The titanium i3T, still honestly one of the best budget flashlights, even for a titanium version. It's only like 35 bucks. And then my pry bar is the Big Idea Design. I think it's just the EDC pry. But I've been loving that one lately. It's got a good weight to it, and it's a lot thicker than my Lynch Northwest is, which I like. I like a little bit of, I don't know, I feel like it's just easier to pry stuff when you've got more to hold on to. So that's the pocket. And then the organizer itself is from Tailored by Cortez, one of my really good buddies, and makes some really good stuff too. And then on top of that, I also carry a slip joint knife, which is in this leather slip that's also from Tailored by Cortez. Most of my leather stuff is from Taylor. And so I like this slip particularly because it comes with a pocket clip, which slip joint knives, for the majority of them, don't have pocket clips. So it's a nice way to carry slip joints without having to worry about where it is in your pocket. But this one is the QSP Hedgehog. And this knife is the best budget slip joint in existence because of the action. So it has a really hard pull to it, and then it's really snappy, which is awesome for a slip joint, because if you press on it, it really doesn't move unless you really crank down on it. And even then, it's got a really stout half stop to it. So even if it does close on you, it's not going to cut you. And then a really stiff close. And you don't get that on a lot of slip joint knives. That is really hard to come by, is this really thick half stop action and then snap open. Because I do carry another one from time to time, which is from Concept. So I have that one in this slip, and it's a little smaller, but this one is, in comparison to the QSP, is so much softer, because this one just sort of glides open and then sticks. I like it a lot. It's really slicey because it has a really, really high flat grind to it. And the factory edge on this one is actually really good, but it's soft. So it just pushes over until it closes, which isn't bad. But this is, how much is this one? 80. I want to say this is like 80 bucks. And for 57, you get something that has so much more spring tension to it. And if I'm doing any sort of hard work, this will handle it no problem. So that's why I like this one. And for 57 bucks, you can't beat it. Traditional pocket knives has titanium and M390 versions of this. And I really want to check those out at some point because it's my favorite slip joint. And if I can get it in titanium, that would be sweet. But since it's February, lots of fixed blades. So the main one I've been carrying is the Bradford Guardian 3. So I've got the Bradford Guardian 3 here with a little leather lanyard. And this one is the black micarta and AEBL steel. And this ergonomically is one of the best. It's got a little bit longer of a blade with a little bit less in the handle. So the ratio is pretty much same here. You mean same here like the Bradford Guardian 3 you've been carrying a lot? But yeah, I love this knife. It takes a mean edge. You can see there, I've polished it up. Yes, okay. Yeah, I've polished it up pretty good. And with the AEBL, it holds it honestly pretty well. I've been using this all week at work and it still doesn't even need to be sharpened. So Bradford Guardian 3 is the main one. And then the one I'll switch back and forth between from there is this guy from Minimalist Gear Co. Definitely a small maker for sure. And this is his first knife. He doesn't make a lot of EDC gear. Most of what he makes is like 3D printed stuff. And on top of that, the 3D printed stuff he does is, I think he's done a couple dog bowls. He's done a couple like dog collar accessories, but this is his first knife and it's just a little tiny fixed blade. This one is 1095 steel that's been Cerakoted. So you have the toughness and the hardness of 1095, but then with the Cerakote, you don't even have to worry about it rusting because it's coated. And that's why I like tool steels to be either coated or like stone washed or something like that, because it really does help with the corrosion resistance. So this 1095 little fixed blade by Minimalist Gear Co. It is a US made knife. So he makes these, I think he only has 100 of them available. And I don't know how many he has left. So if you're in the market for a fixed blade, this one has been one of my favorites lately to carry. It's got a really nice Warncliffe blade with it is an interesting shape. So especially the grind on here too. It's a really thick stock that goes down pretty thin thanks to a little chisel grind. And so you got a pretty thick edge bevel on this side right there, but then it tapers down to almost nothing on this side. So you got a little bit of an angle there and then really thick edge on this side. But for a work tool, like I use this a lot at work, and for cutting zip ties, processing cardboard and all of that, it is a beast. It slices through all of that pretty much no problem. It's not the best like slicer in the world. So for food prep and everything like that, it's definitely not going to be the choice for that. But you know, for small things, everyday tasks, cutting open boxes, tearing down boxes, cutting tape, opening packages, this thing is awesome. So, and I know he's got a couple colors in this. I went for the all FDE, but I know he's got a black blade and a black sheath available, and you can mix those any way you want. So you could do a black knife with an FDE sheath, or an FDE, or a black sheath with a FDE blade. So that's, yeah, especially for all of February, this is definitely one of the easiest fixed blades to grab. And especially with this belt loop, it kind of just dangles from my belt loop like that. So especially at work, I can just grab it, right there, use it, and then put it right back in its sheath and it's ready to go. So that's one of the main reasons I love fixed blades in general, is just the ease of use. And they're just easy to clean, especially if you work a dirty job. Like I work in AC, so I'm in attics all day long. I don't want to have to, if I'm swimming through attic insulation, I don't want to be cleaning out a pivot every single day when I get home from work. One, that's a lot of work. And two, I don't really have the energy after being in a hot attic all day long to come home, take apart a knife, and clean it. For a fixed blade, I don't have that issue. I just wash out the sheath, rinse off the fixed blade, and then it's good to go. So honestly, fixed blades are my preferred knife to carry just because there's less maintenance to do on it. But I do carry folding knives. I carry slip joints, like I've showed. But the folding knives that I do carry are, it's kind of between 3 and 4 of them. Right now, my wife and I are in the middle of moving, so most of my collection is put away besides like this stuff. And so one out of the 2 folding knives, kind of my top 2 right now, is this Spyderco PM2. And this is the crew wear blade in my Carta scales. And I did put an acid etch on it. So I soaked this in some ferric chloride and darkened up the blade. It was satin. You can kind of see, let's see, you can see it like right here on the blade is where I missed a little bit of that etch. Yeah, you can see it right there. So it used to be satin. Now it's like an etched to match the pocket clip. And that's kind of the main reason I did it, is because I didn't want a silver blade and a black pocket clip. So I just darkened it up a little bit. But this has been a really awesome knife. Second Spyderco actually. My first one was the Delica 4. And that knife, that's a good knife. Once my wife and I finish up moving next week, I'll do another live or a video and show that off. But yeah, PM2. And then probably my favorite knife right now, period, is going to be the ProTech Malibu. And this one is the Carry Commission version with the green topo handles and then the 20 CV on the blade. And this one is, it's just one of those like fidget knives where you can sit here. Half the time, I don't want to admit this, but half the time while I'm driving for work, I'll just sit there and play with the blade. It's just so easy to fidget with. And especially with the ProTech, like the action is just so smooth that as soon as you press the button, the blade just drops. And it's, because it's riding on bearings, it just swings open to the point where I can just, it's almost like having an axis lock with the fidgetability where you can just pull down the axis lock and flick it open. It's the same with button locks. And so this is my fidget toy of choice, the ProTech Malibu. And that almost rounds it out. That does leave one thing, and that's my Mark Smith by Soul Built, the titanium permanent marker. And this thing is so good. It's nice and thick. So especially if you're wearing gloves, which I do a lot at work, I do a lot of sheet metal marking, a lot of pilot hole marking. And so this thing comes in handy so often that I don't know what I'd do without it. And especially it's a little bit of a conversation starter too, is because you don't see any titanium permanent markers. I know they make like titanium cases, like little pen slips for Sharpies and everything like that. But for a standalone Sharpie that's titanium, this is just about the only option. How do you refill it? So I'll show you. It takes the like retractable Sharpie refills So the click pen Sharpies, it takes the insert that's in those, and I don't 100% know if those ones actually come apart on their own. I think you have to like break open that Sharpie to get the refill inside of it. But they do sell the inserts just by themselves on Soulbuilt's website, and so they have the permanent marker refills, they have highlighter inserts, and then they have a conversion kit to make this just a ballpoint pen as well. So you kind of get a 3-in-1 with this, and they are coming out soon with a slim version of this, so a little bit slimmer, and so I'm really excited to check that out. But this is one of my favorite pieces of gear, is the Mark Smith. And let's get into a little bit of an unboxing. So I've got this package from Q3D. So like I said before, the pen that I've been carrying is the Q3D Swift Click in all titanium. This has been my pen for the last like week or so. And it came in this package with some other ones. So I'm gonna unbox them and show you guys what else that Quentin sent over in this care package. And one thing with Q3D is all of his pens come in these 3D printed canisters, tubes of sorts, which I didn't know about until I opened up the box and saw all these 3 canisters, which was a really unique and cool unboxing. And so inside is the pen. And so this one is his bolt action in copper with a little bit of milling on the grip here. And it's a really, really, dang, that's smooth. So copper, and I believe it's titanium on the clip. It's a bent clip, which I kind of like. And so that is the copper version. Definitely smells like copper. And then there is one more in here. And this one is green. I don't think the pen is green. I just think that that's the filament he used. Okay, so another Swift click, another side click. And this one, ooh. This one is a lightning anodized titanium with a milled pocket clip, and again, that side click action. These are really cool pens. He really knows what he's doing. And it's an interesting design, especially because there are side click pens. That copper pen would look sick shipwrecked. I agree. Shipwrecked patina is the only, I don't want to say, it's my favorite way to customize copper. I think a natural patina looks good. I just don't like how long it takes to patina. But I do agree that a shipwreck is the best way that copper looks. So the lightning anodizing on here is really, really sweet. And it's got almost a glossy finish on it, as opposed to the stone wash on the tip here. But like I was saying, the design on this pen, you know, you have your big idea design click, the side click by tactile turn, all have their take on a side click. And I think this one is really interesting and fits in, I would say, pretty well with how those other brands are designing theirs. So pretty cool. And yeah, I'll have to get with Quentin to see if he will maybe let me do a shipwreck patina on this one. because he did send me 3. These 2 are the ones I'm doing photo work for, so I'm supposed to be sending these back. I will be sending these back, but I want to get with him to see if I can do a shipwreck patina on this one, because I think that would look sick. Let me get these back in there for now. So what's everybody carrying in their pockets? Even though it's nighttime, what, or at least what did you carry in your pockets today? While I'm getting these boxed back up. And so to actually answer the Bradford and the Tyrant Razor V3, I've been looking at the Tyrant Razor. That's Exceed Designs, I'm pretty sure. And I've been looking at their utility blades for a long time now. And I might have to pull the trigger one of these days, because they have a couple of them, but that frame lock one that one looks really, really nice. I don't know where I put I have a mag sliding utility knife that I think I've already packed up. That has been my utility knife for a while. It's nice, but I don't necessarily like how not easy it is to switch the blade on it. It's held in place by 2 hex key screws, and it's a little tedious when the blade dulls out to change out. So I want to get something that is a little easier to switch the blade out. I've been tossing back and forth the TPT slide. I'm not sold on it yet, but I want to do like an EDC utility knife roundup video of testing out a bunch of different EDC utility blades. I think that would do pretty well, but that's a lot of money to spend on a bunch of utility knives. So I don't know if that'll end up working out, but that would be pretty cool. So right now I just gotta narrow down my choices of what I wanna get and what I want. I just have to really look at what I wanna do. Because right now I'm using the Milwaukee Fastback, which is awesome, but it's bulky because it's bigger than half of my folding knives. And I don't want to just carry around a bunch of different folding knife sized knives when I already have a bunch of stuff in my pockets as it is. So I got to find ways to slim down my carry while also maximizing utility, which I think is the end goal for all of us when it comes to organizing our EDC and how we fit our EDC together. Is just how can we get the most out of it without overdoing it. But yeah, just wanted to do a little unboxing of the new stuff I got in, the new pens. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, especially because one, there's not a lot of people, there's not as many people in here as I thought that there would be. That never discourages me, especially with my YouTube channel lately. I've been getting no views on my videos compared to what I used to get. And I don't know if that has to do, I feel like I've been getting really consistent with my uploading schedule. You know, trying to upload for the last little bit. I've been uploading weekly every Monday. And there are some videos that do okay, and there's most of them that get like no views. Like, I think for the majority, for the average, I get like 40 or 50 views per video for the last like month or so. That's been, besides shorts, which I'm not counting shorts, my average viewing on my normal YouTube videos is like 40 or 50. And I'm still getting views on videos I posted months ago that are getting more views than the ones I'm getting now, if that makes any sense. Like my video from months ago, over the last 2 days, gets 70 views, but the video I posted last week gets 2 views. And I don't know if that has to do with the algorithm or what, but it's really confusing. And Instagram and YouTube is just a really confusing game to play altogether, because you have to do what makes YouTube happy, not what makes you happy. If you want to do well and feed the algorithm, you have to do what YouTube likes, which doesn't always line up with, as creators, what we like to do. Came across through my Rex. Yeah, so I get feed like through YouTube Studio, which is where I get all of my where I get all the information from. So where I can see what my most viewed video is, what percentage of people viewed my video, where I get all my statistic information from. I can see where people are clicking on my channel the most. Most of it is from YouTube's like recommended homepage. A lot of it after that is search engine, so people searching my channel, and then after that is, I don't even know what the one after that is, but it's, so my goal with this channel has always been, especially over the last like 6 months, to reach 1,000 subscribers. For me, that was my main goal with my Instagram channel. And then that was when I started my YouTube channel a couple months after I began my Instagram stuff, was my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And I hit a pretty hard wall like 4 months ago, to where like I just wasn't gaining any traction no matter what I did. If I uploaded 3 videos a week or if I uploaded 1 video a month, it didn't matter, because I was never seeing any growth. Until I started posting weekly, and then I've seen like really slow but steady growth, to where I maybe get like a new subscriber every week or so, which isn't a lot, but progress is progress. And that kind of brings me back to why you almost have to feed YouTube's algorithm and do what YouTube likes, because if you don't do what YouTube likes, YouTube's not going to show you to anybody. And that's the rough game that you play when creating content and doing this, is you really have to play the game if you want to be in the game at all. And that's been my struggle a lot, is finding what works, finding what doesn't, and try to make what I like work. Because what I like to do doesn't necessarily always work. And so finding that balance has been really, really tough, because I never know what video is going to do well. The video it always tends to work out this way, where the videos I spend the most time on get the least amount of views, versus the ones that I literally just throw up a camera, hit record, and just BS my way through get 10,000 views. And I don't understand what that difference is at all. I don't get it. But it always tends to work out that way, to where the ones I BS through, the ones I like just throw together in like 5 minutes, get the most views. So that is, I gotta figure out how to do something because I also get the statistics on who watches my videos that are subscribed versus like I get to see who's subscribed and who's not versus like percentage wise who what out of the views that I get, what percentage of those views are subscribed to my channel and the percentage that aren't. And 95 to 97% of my videos are watched by people that aren't subscribed to my channel, which sucks because if a video gets 10,000 views, that means over 9,000, like over 9,500 of those views are from people that don't subscribe to my channel, which is fine. Like, I appreciate any support, I appreciate all of it. It just, I don't know quite yet how to get the views and the subscribers at the same time. I don't know. There's just a lot that comes with YouTube and with Instagram and with doing this type of thing that I never thought about beforehand. A lot of it kind of just was like, oh, I'll use my phone, I'll record a video and I'll post it on YouTube and I'll call it a day. And there's a lot more that goes into it that I never even thought twice about. Which now, doing YouTube for a year and a half now, doing Instagram for almost 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Yeah, almost 2 years. I'm starting to pick up on the fact that there's a lot, like I'm really starting to get there. You'll get there slowly. Yeah. And that's what I've noticed is like in the beginning, I hit a huge spike in interactions and comments and subscribers and followers and all this. I hit a huge spike. Not a huge spike in like I gained like 10,000 followers, but I went from 0 to 300 or 400 really fast. And then that trying to get over 500 took months and months and months after maybe a month from start to 300 to 400 followers and subscribers. Getting past that 500 was probably the hardest thing to do. And I think that goes across the board. Like once you pass 500, like I think my YouTube channel sat at 500 subscribers for like 6 months. Like there was months and months of time to where I didn't gain or lose a single subscriber, which I found really interesting because my Instagram goes up and down all the time. Most of the time it's more up than it is down, but it's like the stock market where you see those spikes and those drops, but if you zoom out, it's like slowly going up, and that's what's been my Instagram for a long time. But my YouTube hit like a really flat plateau really hard like 6 months into doing videos. And now that like I said, now that I've gotten on a really consistent uploading schedule every week, every Monday, it's gotten better. It's still not perfect, but I'm slowly getting more interactions on my videos, more likes, more comments, a couple subscribers here and there, which like isn't super like it's actually kind of encouraging. But my goal with all of this in general is to turn this into a business. Like my main goal is to be able to quit my day job and to make money doing this. Which, like, I love my job. I love what I do, and I'm not in any hurry to quit. But I also like sort of want all the effort that I'm making to pay off. And so I said, it's just a weird game that you play when you feed into and you start playing the YouTube game and the Instagram game. But that is a big, long rant that I'm going to close out. It always happens. And that's half of the time I spend editing my videos is cutting out rants that I'll just spend 5-10 minutes on. And those are the small ones that I'll just cut completely out of the video because I go off, my ADHD kicks in, and I'll just start thinking about something and just completely derail and go off for however long it takes me to realize it and then come back and refocus. Like, I think that was just a 10-minute rant about how hard YouTube and Instagram is. But it is what it is. With that, I think I'm going to call it a live and call it a night. I hope you have a good night. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend and a good last couple weeks of February. Hope you're well. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on the next round. So have a good night, guys.